Dearest gentle listener, welcome to our Swoon-Worthy podcast episode on the enchanting, floral-infused, Regency-esque hit series, Bridgerton. I'm Carly, the co-host of Swoon-Worthy, the podcast, along with my sister, Kayla. This is our second season of the podcast that we started earlier this year, 2024, to talk about our love for movies and TV series set in different time periods, also known as the period drama. Now, there's a lot of buzz around Bridgerton right now because season 3 airs on Netflix in just a few days, May 16th. So what we've decided to do is have an episode covering the first 2 seasons now, and we will release another episode after we binge watch season 3. Are you as excited as I am for the new series of Bridgerton?
I doubt that.
That's okay. That's okay. Because I think it'll be a good balance to have us both sharing our very different opinions of the show.
I mean,
And
I just meant like I'm probably not as excited as you, but I mean, I do enjoy watching it.
oh, good. So, and for our listeners, just so you know, Kayla and I haven't really talked a lot together ahead of time about our opinions on the show. So I'm really curious what she's going to say about seasons 1 and 2 and the upcoming season 3. This is a very divisive show. I think that some people who listen to our podcast regularly are fans of the show. Some people love it, but I do think some people don't like it as much. And there will be people who tune in to hear what we have to say that don't agree with us or agree with some of our negative comments. I'm really curious how this one pans out. I'd also argue that some people have grown to like it after the second season who maybe didn't like it the first season. So we'll dig into that as well as the costumes and the character analysis. And a bit of background before we jump in. The Bridgerton books were written by Julia Quinn, published in 2001. Now they're considered young adult fiction, historical romance novels. They get a bit risque at parts. I feel like nowadays we're used to seeing romance sex scenes on the screen, but it's very different reading the words. So I recently read the books. I didn't read them a long time ago. I read them very recently because the curiosity got the better of me. And I figured before season 3, it was the right time. I surprisingly enjoyed them. What were your initial thoughts about the romance sex scenes of season 1? I'm just curious.
Yeah, so season 1 was a lot. I personally don't think that all that's necessary. I mean, I think I just it's not what draws me to watch a show, but I loved all the costumes and the music and I like the storyline.
Good.
The romance, that's always nice. But I don't think I'm going to read the books because I'm not into all that stuff.
Yeah, it's weird because the books are, I would say, part lighthearted romance, nice writing, easy reading, kind of like maybe, I don't know. I'm trying to compare it to something. I want to say she's a better writer than Stephanie Meyer for the Twilight books. So
I'm sure.
no, I know, right? But then you have the few scenes where they get pretty descriptive. So, anyways, and season 1 follows the book storyline pretty well. And the series came out on Netflix nearly 20 years after the book was first published, which is really interesting. Chris Van Dusen, the creator and executive producer, served as the showrunner for seasons 1 and 2. And you've probably heard the name Shonda Rhimes a lot in connection with Bridgerton. Big name in television for Grey's Anatomy and other shows. And Shonda Rhimes also serves as the executive producer and the CEO of Shondaland, which backs the show. Okay, so season 1 premiered on Netflix December 25th, 2020, during COVID, during the holidays. It was a huge success for Netflix and the creators of the show. I don't think everyone knew it was based off a romance novel. There's definitely almost like a switch in the series around the end of episode 5 where it gets a little hot and heavy with the scenes, and everyone just thinks episode 5, like, watch out, beware. And Yeah. Interesting is that I think somewhat true to the times, they really capture this. Young women were kept in the dark about their marriage duties. They were kept in the dark until, at a young age, send them off with their husband. They might have known a bit about the wedding, but not the wedding night. And this season really focuses on that, which is, you know, different, unique.
Yeah, I can't even imagine being a woman back then, just getting married to someone you barely know and then being surprised like that.
Yeah. Poor Daphne. Poor Daphne Bridgerton. Her mom in the big, before she gets married, Violet just doesn't tell her anything. It's just the worst conversation. And I really feel for her. But yeah, so the first book, the main character is Daphne Bridgerton, played by Phoebe Dynevor. And she's the eldest daughter of the Bridgerton family. It's a big family of 8 children, 4 boys, 4 girls, all in alphabetical order, the names. So there's Anthony, Benedict, Colin, Daphne, Eloise, Francesca, Gregory, and then Hyacinth Bridgerton.
That's so cute. I didn't realize that that's what they did.
Mm-hmm. And the father died. So the mother, Violet, is left managing the kids, but then the oldest son, Anthony, and oh, it's pronounced Anthony. I love the way like Phoebe Jennifer Daphne says his name so prettily. Anthony he has to step up and kind of take that male lead role in the family, the patriarch role. Um,
What's the
but
birth order? Is it the 2 boys and then Daphne?
no, 3 boys, then Daphne.
Oh, okay. So
Uh-huh.
it's what's his name? And then
Anthony,
the artist
Benedict.
the artist one is Benedict.
Yes, the artist one is
Who's the
Benedict.
third boy?
Colin. Colin's the one that Penelope, the
Oh,
neighbor
that's
and friend, has the crush on.
okay.
And season 3 coming out very soon is all about Colin and Penelope. What they did, which was interesting, they skipped Benedict's story. So the books are all in the order.
Yeah, I'm curious
Well,
about him more. So are they gonna get to him?
yes. So they're going to do Benedict next, is the rumor. It's not official. They skipped him. I think because with the actors that are already in place, they really need to give Nicola Coughlan, who plays Penelope, like her time in the series. And I think they probably took some time to cast the next female lead for Benedict's story. Kayla, I read this book. This is Cinderella with a twist, Benedict's story. Yeah. And it's funny because a lot of people online, they really want Lily James to play Sophie, Benedict's love interest, but I don't think she's going to do that
Hmm.
because she was Cinderella.
Yeah.
But they're looking at casting choices. I'm sure they've already selected someone, but yeah, I like the artist Benedict. Yeah, we start off season 1 with Daphne being presented to the queen. So this is something that would happen all the time to those that are in society and wealthy. It's kind of like the court, the ton, as they say in this series, and in the books of London gets presented. So the debutantes kind of thing. Think Lily James, speaking of Lily James, in Downton Abbey gets presented to the Queen. I think that's like season 4 or something. So similar thing. Um, and she gets presented to Queen Charlotte. And that's how the season 1 opens. And you get to see her in her beautiful white, you know, creamy white and gold. Some of Daphne's costuming is directly inspired from Audrey Hepburn's costumes in the War and Peace movie. Yeah, so she very, very Audrey with her when her hair is pulled up and she's got the Regency clothing and the feathers in her hair and the
Oh,
jewels in
that's
her hair. So
cool. I can see
yeah.
that looking back.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And she becomes um the season's incomparable. So the one who the queen says is the diamond of the first water. So she's the number one society girl, right, for the season. And you'd think that that would make a lot of marriage proposals come her way because that's her job in life is to secure a marriage proposal and have kids, but she has some trouble because her brother is overprotective. But in the book, it's because all the guys think that she's like the best friend, not like the romance interest. So there are some changes from the book to the show. Anyways,
Okay.
yeah. And then we meet Simon Bassett, the Duke of Hastings, played by Regé-Jean Page. And talk about a dashing actor. Often wears this, pretty red velvet tailcoat, just very commanding of the screen. And people were swooning all over that actor when this series first came out, Regé-Jean Page.
Well, I've got to look at his picture again.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's very handsome. A handsome lad.
Yeah. And this actor, of all of the acting, was the most nominated for awards. So, winner of the MTV Movie Award, Breakthrough Performance, MTV Movie and TV Award, Breakthrough Performance, nominated for an Emmy and a Screen Actors Guild. But others were not nominated, except for, have to call out Julie Andrews, right? She gets Emmy nominations for her voiceover performance for this series. Because the fact that they got Julie Andrews as Lady Whistledown, that's like credibility right there.
Yeah, that was a smart move.
She's so beautiful, so lovely. What do you think about the actress they chose for Daphne, Phoebe Dynevor? You think she was a good choice?
Yeah, I think she's really pretty. Has she been in anything before that?
The only thing I've seen her is just a one episode small role of this Three Musketeers BBC series. So no, I hadn't seen her in anything. I feel like she um kind of reminds me of Keira Knightley in the way she talks, and her like small frame and like I don't know the way some of her mannerisms.
Mm.
And I mentioned the Audrey Hepburn reference, but she also wears a lot of blue. We're going to get into costume color analysis here in a second. But she wears a lot of blue. And there's one picture in particular of her sitting there with her needlework and her hair, which is kind of a light brown. It's got a little bit of a blonde. She has some straight bangs up top and it's pulled back halfway up. She's wearing a light blue. She looks like Wendy from Peter Pan, like the cartoon, the animated movie. People draw that comparison.
Oh, that's funny.
I think she was a good choice. She's the star of the first season. And I love how we do get a bit of Daphne in season 2, which we're going to talk about. Regé-Jean Page did not come back for season 2.
Yeah, why didn't he come back?
So he was signed for season 1 only, like signed the contract for just season 1 and did get some movie offers afterwards and kind of left that behind. But to me, I'll never I just wish that hadn't happened. I wish, as much as I like him in the role, I wish they had gotten someone who committed to more seasons.
Yeah, I feel like there's a lot of like actors who are just they're like not really that interested in just being in TV, like we saw that with Downton Abbey. Like they were kind of like, oh yeah, this is a good linchpin, but it's not where I want to be. I want to do movies. I want to be a big movie star. But
Yeah,
I feel
like Dan
like
Stevens, Jessica Brown
Jessica
Findlay.
Brown Finley. So, and maybe it's even more so with he's British, right?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
So maybe that's like a thing that they're still a stigma with them that like they want to be, a Hollywood movie star.
That's interesting that's an interesting point. Yeah. And I know Regé-Jean Page has done this Dungeons and Dragons movie, but like, I don't know, just even some cameos, because Daphne wasn't in all of season 2. Phoebe Dynevor wasn't in all of season 2, but she was in a few episodes and it was a nice, I love those moments. So I just wish instead they have to be like, oh, he's away in business.
Yeah, it's so weird. It's like, why is he just gone? Like,
Yeah, I know. A little bit of a bummer. I don't know. And some people stick up for him saying, like, no, that was, he's making his career move. But like, I don't know.
is he gonna come back?
No, probably not. No. He's
Dang,
pretty much said no.
dang, dude. Okay, okay, we'll see how.
Yes. So, anyways, but I do like the chemistry between Daphne and Simon in this. And then you have the whole backstory. His dad just was so mean to him and he had a stutter growing up. And like his acting is really good in this series. And the famous quote from the book, but it's actually, I don't believe Julia Quinn wrote this quote, wrote this phrase. I believe it's from the time period of Regency England, but puts it in the book and it's very cleverly done. Reformed rakes make the best husbands. So what we mean by that is, you know, the men who have sown their wild oats and are kind of, you know, roguish come back and make the best husbands once they settle down. So that's kind of a common phrase. What do you think about that?
Interesting. Never heard that before.
Yeah. But it's kind of sad because then you have on the other side the women who are just naive and young and youthful and have no wild oats sown.
Maybe they don't want oats.
Maybe not. But I don't know. Some probably do. Anyways. Or they want to be on equal standing with their husband. Okay.
We're both talking from our own experience, like, well, I don't want oats. And you're like, maybe they do want oats.
Just a call out. So one of the episodes in season 1 is called The Art of the Swoon. So like I was thinking of our podcast name,
Oh,
Swoon-Worthy. So would you say Reggie Jean Page is swoon-worthy?
definitely, but not coming back. Got to deduct a few points there, unfortunately.
Mm-hmm.
So that's on him.
Fair enough. What about the other Bridgerton boys? So
Ooh, the
Anthony,
Bridgerton
the
boys.
Bridgerton boys, some people are calling him like the Regency Jonas brothers in these latest pictures. So, okay, we got Anthony, Benedict, Colin, and they're all supposed to look alike, the Bridgerton family.
No, I think they did good because there's
Mm-hmm.
some times where I'm like, especially with the guys, I'm like, okay, which one is this one again? But I guess they did it on purpose. So let's see, Bridgerton boys. I think that, yeah, I really like the first two, and the third one, he's cute, but I don't know if he's really my type.
And we'll see after season 3. We'll see if our minds change. But I feel you. I'm kind of Colin's cute, as you said, but Anthony and Benedict. And Anthony in the first one, played by Jonathan Bailey, has these mutton chops. So these like sideburns in season 1, and he ditches them in season 2. Thank goodness, because I just think he looks much more
A little
swoon-worthy without
Lincoln,
them.
got a little Lincoln going on.
Yeah, so I think that was a good move. But I saw him in a clip on Instagram. I think he's nostalgic for them. Like it was cute. I don't know. I like Jonathan
He's
Bailey.
cute for sure.
Okay. So when this one first aired back in 2020, there were a lot of people who did say some pretty awful negative things about the diverse casting choices.
Oh.
And yeah, but now I think that's faded. That I think that was just kind of maybe something people hadn't seen as much at first.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I feel like this was the first really popular show that had actually done that. That was when we first saw the emergence of that type of trend. So that's probably why there was.
I think it was kind of more groundbreaking and, buzzworthy then, but we're over that. And I don't think it's even a talking point or a reason people dislike the show anymore. Some people do hate on the other aspects that are not historically accurate, like the costumes or some of the manners and etiquette. But I'm glad that kind of
Yeah.
isn't a thing anymore
Well, yeah,
because,
and I
yeah,
feel like that. Sorry to cut you off, but I feel like this show does a good job of just like when you're watching it. Yeah, it's taking place in a certain time, but it just still has a very modern feel, but it's not like distracting, and it's not like it's fun. It's like I feel like it's a Regency era Gossip Girl.
it is. Yes, Lady Whistledown is very Gossip Girl. And yeah, think of Gossip Girl. That's not how New York City really was in 2010, but
2007.
2007 to whatever, 2012 or whatever. But it was a heightened version of it. So that good point. And also, I think of Bridgerton as this beautiful world that they created. It's got fairy tale aesthetics, flowers everywhere. You still get some of the Regency elements, but as you said, it's a fantasy, a fairy tale a
I
bit.
mean,
It's
it's
not.
kind of the idealized version of history. Like, what if things were different? Like,
Mhm.
if that didn't, the past wasn't the way it was, this is how it could look like. And you know,
Yeah,
it's diverse.
it is diverse and beautiful. And we're there for it. We're everyone's watching this. I mean, it's such a hit series. They're expecting season 3 to be just crazy. So season 1, in the first 28 days, so the first month on Netflix, 82 million households watched it.
Wow.
Yeah. And then something similar to season 2. So um everyone's watching this. But I still kind of like some of the scenes in season 1. I don't think we're suitable for everybody to watch.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like it was a little too much, honestly. I feel like
Yeah.
they could have mellowed that out a bit, but
Which I think they did in season
yeah,
2,
yeah,
which
definitely.
maybe we'll just start segueing to season 2 now. And in season 3, I read that there's even going to be less in season 3. So they're kind of going, in my opinion, in the right direction.
Yeah, I mean, I don't need all that. I don't think anybody really wants all of that.
No. All right. Okay. So let's start talking about season 2. And then towards the end, we're going to talk about all the costumes. So stick around for that. Season 2 premiered on March 25th, 2022. And it followed Julia Quinn's second book, The Viscount Who Loved Me. So the first one was The Duke and I, and the second one, The Viscount Who Loved Me. They all have cute
It's like the
titles.
spy who loved me,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the first one's like The King and I.
Ah,
Yeah, they're all kind of plays off other titles. And this one follows Daphne's oldest brother, the eldest Bridgerton, and played by Jonathan Bailey, as I said, whose romantic interest is Kate Sharma, played by Simone Ashley. And if you watch Netflix's Sex Education show, a British show, you would have seen Simone Ashley in that. I think she is so pretty and I just love her. And I'm going to say right now, I love season 2 more than season 1.
oh yeah, me too. Yeah, she's so pretty and like oh my gosh, like it's not fair that she's like so perfectly like her face, her bone structure is perfect.
I'm with you. No, yeah, like she's just got the sweetest, prettiest little face. She has a sister. So Kate Sharma and Edwina Sharma. Edwina is played by Charitha Chandran. And to me, this is very Sense and Sensibility. Eleanor Dashwood, Marion Dashwood, the older sister is trying to keep her emotions in check and be the good older sister, keeping the family together. You know, they don't have a father figure anymore, just the mother figure. And I just get Sense and Sensibility vibes from this all around from Jane Austen.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I really enjoyed this season. It sometimes was just like, oh my gosh, just like admit what that you like him.
I think that's an interesting new plot. I'm trying to think of another storyline where it's a love triangle between two sisters. I'm sure there is one, but like first she's against Anthony because he's not good and
She overhears him talking with his friends.
right. And that it wouldn't be a love match. And she wants a love match for her sister. But then she accepts him, sees that he really is like a family man and whatever. And there's like some money involved, whatever. But yeah, I don't know if there's ever like a love triangle quite like this one because they're obviously head over heels for each other and the tension is so strong.
Well, yeah, I mean, he first was interested in her when he saw her on the horse, I feel like. And then, but he was just kind of, he didn't, he had, it's like he turned off that mode of like love, the possibility of falling in love because of what happened with his dad and his mom, and he saw that whole heartbreak. And so
Exactly.
he was like, I don't even want to get into that. So I'm just gonna marry someone who's the diamond, who's perfect to be the wife, and just have a pleasant yet boring life.
Exactly. And in the book, they get into the his thoughts process a bit more, but exactly what you said. So his father died from a bee sting, which is just terrible. And the whole thing about if you're allergic to a bee, you won't know the first time because the first time you get stung by a bee, you just don't know. It's the second time. Isn't that crazy? I think it's crazy.
No, it is crazy, but I mean, now I feel like they can do tests on babies to see if they're allergic.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
But
I think
yeah,
pediatricians do that so that they can give you an EpiPen to have with the baby all the time.
well, that's good.
I'm pretty
Yeah, because
sure.
that's no, I'm sure you're right. We just Kayla and I don't have babies, so we don't know. But um, yeah, because that's just horrible. And that whole scene makes me sad. And then in the book, it's sad. And in the book, they make it a little more like he kind of has this paranoia of dying at a young age because his father died at a somewhat young age. So he does it, yeah, like he doesn't want to make anyone, he doesn't want the love, the heartbreak to be a factor.
Or even if the spouse dies and he's left like his mom was, like he doesn't want that either, you know?
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, but in the end, he just kind of it takes a lot of growth. It takes the whole season really to overcome this, and they finally get together. Oh, and also in the book, the Kate has a phobia of storms, but they just left that out of the show.
Yeah, I didn't get that.
So Kate and Anthony are such equals. They both are the eldest sibling. They're looking out for their younger siblings. And you can just tell right away that they're perfect for each other and the banter back and forth. They don't want to give in. They finally give in. And so much so that poor Edwina walks down the aisle to marry him. And that whole episode is about her finally choosing what she wants in life. What are your thoughts on Edwina, Sharma?
She's sweet and I feel bad for her. It's like, oh my gosh, sister, tell her the truth. And same with Anthony. Just
Mm-hmm.
be honest. I mean, they're just kind of honestly, they're just being selfish.
I know they just didn't see it as that, you know? And poor Edwina is the one getting shafted.
And it's funny because they're trying to not be selfish, but that's their own pride that's blinding them.
Mm,
Think
it's a
about it.
that's a very deep statement. Are you okay? Um,
What? What?
nothing. I said that's a deep statement, but true. And the other element is that Queen Charlotte is the one backing this wedding too. And in that episode, where Edwina has to make the choice between marrying Antony, knowing it's not a love match, or saying no, no, thank you, we get some of Queen Charlotte and King George, Mad King George,
Oh yeah.
in that scene. And that I think I'm glad they included that scene. Because that is, what really went on. The whole Regency period is about the regent when King George couldn't fulfill his kingly duties. And they made a spin-off series, I'm sure many of you know, Queen Charlotte, a Bridgerton story, and we get to see young Queen Charlotte and young King George. And I love that spinoff series. I think it was so well done. But we'll save that one for another podcast episode because it's its own story. But we get to see young Lady Danbury and young Lady Violet Bridgerton in that. And it's very well done. The acting is great. They got great actors to play the young versions. And Queen Charlotte is so regal. The actress who plays her, Golda Rochevelle, such a commanding performance. I I love her and I love Lady Danbury. They're both so regal and powerful, strong women on the screen. And I think Lady Danbury is one of my favorite characters of Bridgerton, played by Ajoa Ando. Season 1 costume design. was by Ellen Mirojnik. Kayla, did you know that the season 1 costume designer is the same one for Cinderella 1997? So the Brandy and Whitney Houston.
Ooh, no, I can totally see that.
Mm-hmm. And this costume designer has done other fairy tales. So even the Cinderella 2021, starring Camila Cabello, which I haven't actually seen, I'm admitting, the Maleficent sequel in 2019, and then not fairy tale at all, Oppenheimer costume designer, same one. So yeah, love this costume designer. Then they switched it up for season 2. Costume designed by Sophie Canal or Canale, I'm not sure. And I have to say, the hairstyling is a standout in Bridgerton. And they actually took home the Emmy Award for the best outstanding period or character hairstyling in 2021 and in 2022. And particularly for the episodes season 1, episode 3, Art of the Swoon, and season 2, episode 8, the finale, The Viscount Who Loved Me. Now that we've started talking about some of the other characters, maybe it's time for the costume color analysis part of the podcast that I really wanted to talk about. So I love color themes for characters, and they go all out with them in Bridgerton. So the Bridgerton family wears a lot of blue, but also purple. Okay. The mom, Violet, often wears purple like her name. Kind of reminds me of Violet in Downton Abbey. We talked about colors there. And Daphne wears a lot of light pale blue in the beginning of the series and then changes to lilac when she marries Simon. And some people analyze that because Simon, as I said, wears that brilliant red velvet tailcoat. He wears a lot of red. So red and blue make purple. So Daphne starts to wear purple in the end of season 1 and throughout season 2. Lady Danbury also, her color is like a dark royal purple, which goes with her character, her strong character. And I love her cane and some of her top hats and all of that. Very regal. Queen Charlotte, she does more like multicolored. So her costumes, she wears whatever she wants, but her wigs are always matching. Some of my favorites, I love the periwinkle blue wig with her that powdery periwinkle blue kind of combination. Just trying to think. Love some of her costumes. I'll post some of them on Instagram. And they're all oversized, over the top. There's like birds in them. But the 1938 Marie Antoinette, Norma Shearer, wears this oversized wig with a bird in a little bird cage. So there's foundation for some of these fun queenly costumes. Yeah, so Kate Sharma in season 2, jewel tones. So away from the pastels of most of the characters, she wears jewel tones. And I think they're so beautiful and stunning on her. A lot of purple, some light blue and teal blue. And people have noticed how in the earlier parts of the season, she wears darker colors because she's a bit more, her personality is a bit more strict and she's not letting loose yet. And then throughout the season, she kind of lets loose a bit more, wears lighter colors. And she wears this nice paisley print Spencer, I believe, at one point, or costume piece that's really pretty. Edwina wears light pink and peach, which goes along with her sweet personality. And in the finale, Kate Sharma wears this vibrant orange, and that she's really just different. Her character development has grown and she's changed so much. She's wearing bold, defiant of society colors. But orange, would argue, is still kind of a jewel tone. And then we have the Featheringtons, which they wear eccentric, vibrant colors, much like their personalities. They give off Cinderella's stepmother and stepsister vibes for sure. The mother, Portia Featherington, is played by Polly Walker, who is actually Jane Fairfax in the Gwyneth Paltrow Emma. Fun fact. And she wears everything from green to orange, pink, yellow. The Featherington family does multicolor floral dresses, not monotone like the Bridgertons and other characters. Prudence Featherington, one of the Featherington sisters, is actually Bessie Carter, the child of Mr. Carson from Downton Abbey and Imelda Staunton. So she's a period drama child, is
Wait,
what I like
who's
to.
who's Imelda Staunton?
So Imelda Staunton is, she played the queen most recently in The Crown, the older queen,
Oh,
and
wow.
what is her name in Harry Potter? The horrible.
Is it Pettigrew or something?
No.
That's cool.
Wait, hold on. What is her name, Kayla? Umbridge. Umbridge.
Oh, Miss Umbridge.
Ugh.
Everyone hated her.
Yes, but love the actress. And so, yeah, Bessie Carter is Prudence Featherington, wears a lot of orange. So think your Caroline Bingley in the 1995 Pride and Prejudice. And then we have the other sister, Philippa Featherington, is kind of not in it as much. Penelope. We got to talk more Penelope, but we will talk about Penelope in detail in our next Bridgerton episode after we've watched season 3. But the whole thing, her mom puts her in yellow. Her mother thinks yellow's a happy color and happy girls will secure a husband. So puts her in yellow, but she hates wearing yellow.
Yeah, I noticed that in this one of the first episodes. She's like, I thought she just liked yellow, but then the other girl was like, or was talking about it, and and then Penelope was just like, yeah, I'm just kind of sick of it. But I'm like, well, why are you wearing it?
Yeah, her mother makes her, because her mother pays for her clothes at the modiste. So puts her in the color and she's kind of has to. But the whole thing is she breaks from that in the new season. So we're going to see her in more flattering colors, greens, some blues. It's she does wear some pink throughout season 1 and 2. I think she looks cute in pink. I always like pink on people with red hair because it makes me think of Ariel. But yeah.
I think the
So
yellow looks good on her, but yeah, I mean, she needs to change it up a little bit. But I saw a post about her, and people were like, okay, millennials just don't age at all because I didn't realize this actress who plays Penelope was 37. Like they thought she was 23 or something. And she does look really young.
I actually didn't know she was 37.
Yeah.
Wow. And the actress who plays Eloise, we haven't really talked too much about Eloise Bridgerton, but
I really like her.
yeah, hold on 1 second. Hold that thought. Yeah, so Claudia Jessie, who plays Eloise, is 34 years old. And everyone was,
You serious?
everyone was so shocked.
Wow. See, we got in a good age bracket for
Yeah. Okay. So I think we kind of covered the color themes that I wanted to. I might throw some more in there. Yeah. So Claudia Jessie and Nicola Coughlan are both older, where you may have seen them before. Claudia Jessie, who plays Eloise, was Amelia Sedley in the 2018 Vanity Fair miniseries on Amazon Prime. Love her in that. Very different character. And Nicola Coughlan, you probably know her from the Irish show The Dairy Girls. And she's also in a period drama slash comedy, Harlots. So the two actresses, I love them together. They even have, you know how you mash like okay, Kate Sharma and Anthony Cantony. People have like a hashtag, whatever. So Penelope and Eloise, they're best friends. So they have Peneloise. Yeah. And then Colin Bridgerton and Penelope are pollen, which kind of goes with the whole bee theme, anyways. But yeah, so Kayla, are you more of a Daphne or an Eloise?
Oh, I'm definitely more of an Eloise.
I love her character, and I don't know. I feel like I have a like I can't say I'm fully Daphne. Like she's too perfect by
Yeah,
the books.
yeah, she's gets old.
I do love her, but I don't know. I love Eloise and the actress who plays her. And one of my favorite scenes in season 2 is when Daphne's baby is brought over to the family and they're all oohing and awing over the family. over the baby. And like, come on, Eloise, come look at the baby. And she's like, has she changed since the last time I saw her? Like, that's kind of, yeah, I like that. um, and then we learn at the end of season 1, we learn that Penelope is Lady Whistledown. So sorry guys, I'm sure most of you have already seen this show that are tuning into us. So I don't think I need to say spoiler alert, but Penelope's Lady Whistledown. And you don't know until the 4th book who Lady Whistledown is. But in the series, you know at the end. But you probably wouldn't even have known as much in the books. But yeah, so she's a wallflower. She's observant. She knows what's going on. And in season 2, at the end, her best friend Eloise learns the secret.
Yeah, that was really
So
sad. I didn't like that.
I
Is there
know.
any chance that it's not Penelope?
No.
There's a twist.
There's a twist.
It's
No,
Anthony.
it's who?
It's Anthony.
It's Anthony, like in like Dan from Gossip Girl. That would be funny. No, it's Penelope according to the book, so I'm pretty sure they're gonna stick with that. I mean, it makes sense, and you know, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm really excited to see Penelope's story with Colin. Hashtag Pollen.
Yeah. Colin.
Because they're friends, and like he just hasn't seen her. I mean, I see like in season 2, there were looks between them. Like he might be kind of, but then at the end, you hear him
That was
over
so
talking.
sad. Yeah. Poor Penelope. Like, geez. Jerk.
Yeah. But I think he's gonna make up for it and we're gonna be happy with him. And in the book, he says something similar, but he's talking to his brothers, not just like random people. Okay, favorite scenes. I want to call out some of our favorite scenes from both season 1 and season 2 as we're wrapping up our podcast. In season 1, I mean, I love a good duel scene. So when Anthony and Simon are about to duel and Daphne comes riding in on her horse to stop it, I think that's good. And some of the dance scenes between Daphne and Simon I think are really beautiful and sweet. There's the one in the rain in the finale where they both finally just forgive each other and move on from their situation. But I just love season 2 so much. I feel like there are more funny scenes. Everyone's kind of settled into their characters more. I love the Pall Mall scene. So when they're playing the sport, like it's kind of like croquet, and you get the family dynamics and the competitiveness of the Bridgerton family. I just love that scene. I think it's so well done. That's also in the book. I like how the Sharma sisters and the Sharma mother and Lady Danbury and the Bridgerton mother and the Bridgerton family, they all dance in the second to last episode. Like no one comes to their ball. And so they just kind of dance together in their little foyer. And it's just so cute and sweet. And I like that scene. Do you have any scenes from season 2 that you liked?
Yeah, I really like the bee scene.
Between Kate and Anthony?
Yes.
Where she's like making him calm.
Yeah, I think it's
Yeah.
kind of funny because he's like freaking out.
He's freaking out because that was tragic with his
Yeah.
father, and that's just a sign that like she's perfect for him because she can calm him down.
Yeah. Just like, oh my gosh, you guys, like, just admit it. Like, y'all have feelings for each other.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I love it when he falls in the water and he comes out of the water and he's like,
Oh, yeah.
wet shirt. So that's a whole Darcy kind of reference.
Oh, yeah.
Uh-huh. And both Sharma sisters are staring at Anthony like, oh my goodness.
Yeah.
After the wedding, and Edwina finally knows the truth. And the two of them, Anthony and Kate, are like next to each other and they're acting really weird because they're in close proximity to each other. And Edwina is like, how have I been so blind? Like,
Oh,
oh,
no, it's like, geez, that's so embarrassing. Like, You should have told her sooner.
Yeah, but you know what? I think this was like a good thing for her character to grow and learn more about herself and I don't know. But I don't
Yeah.
think she's going to
Yeah.
be in season 3.
Well, yeah, I mean, she probably gets married off somewhere else and that's it.
Yes, but Kate and Anthony are coming back for season 3. There's already been a few clips of them and they're so cute in it and I'm glad that they both returned unlike Reggie Jean Page.
I know, I really can't believe he did that to everybody. I mean, it's very unfortunate.
I think so. I think so. But yeah, so this has been fun, Kayla. Thank you so much for sharing your opinions and insights on Bridgerton with me.
What are you talking about? You did all the work.
Just go with it.
But thank you, Carly, for sharing all of your insights and opinions with me.
Yes, because I think it's funny. We've really never spoken to each other about Bridgerton that much. Like it's never sometimes, well, all of our nostalgic choices. So we talk about Ever After a lot. We talk about Titanic a lot, but we just never really talked about this. And so I really didn't know what you thought about it. We're going to definitely binge watch season 3 of Bridgerton. Okay. Coming out the first part on May 16th and the second part on June 13th. So we will definitely have another Bridgerton episode ready for you and we'll post it. We'll talk all about Pollen and hopefully Eloise and Penelope will resolve their issues. We'll see more of Kate and Anthony. We'll see more Lady Danbury, Queen Charlotte. Who else?
I think I'm most excited for Eloise and her story.
Yeah. See where she goes from here. And eventually we'll learn Benedict's story. And I think they wanted to play around with his character a bit more in this season. So I'm sure we will get plenty of Benedict. But I know some people are just so mad that they skipped over his book and went straight to Colin and Penelope.
Well, I mean, he is the middle child, so typical.
Yeah, he's kind of in the middle of the 3 older boys. So, yeah, fair enough. And we'll see who they cast as Sophie, his love interest, soon enough. There's a rumor she may even be in a small part of this season. All right, so thank you all. We talked about some of our favorite characters and scenes from Bridgerton season 1 and 2. And we are so excited to eventually get to season 3 and talk to you all about that one as well. I hope that you enjoyed our character analysis, our costume color analysis parts of this podcast episode. And thank you for tuning in to our second season of Swoon-Worthy, the podcast. We are so excited to talk more 90s nostalgia movies with you soon, more Jane Austen with you, more other fantastic period dramas. We're probably going to go into some more historically accurate period dramas after this, but we had to cover Bridgerton because it is a fun, enjoyable show. Please follow us and subscribe to us on Instagram, wherever you listen to your podcasts, whether that's Spotify, Apple, Amazon.
And if we're not on one of those, just let us know and we'll get that RSS feed up there for you.
And thank you. We'll catch you next time. Bye.